tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queuing. H2.0. Yeah. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear.
Welcome to the Queendom, it's 2.0 on your screen, where the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. If you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must.
This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up a better scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought.
Ooh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me envy. Unleash the dragon.
Subscribe, ring that notification bell. Yeah, you don't wanna miss a thing. Welcome to the family. Yeah. On the bill is looking faded and frayed. The fourth estate is corporate owned and heavily paid. They're trading in the facts for a narrative fabricated. If you leak the truth, you get deleted and degraded. Look, the teleprompter's glowing with the scripted out deception. A digital infection to manipulate perception. They steer the conversation in a singular direction, while the First Amendment's dying with no hope of resurrection. It's a manufactured crisis, yeah, they're selling us the fear. Whispering the lies until it's all the people here. They call it fact checking just to keep the vision blurry, while they bury every whistleblower in a frantic hurry.
Silence in the streets, silence in the booth. A total moratorium on anyone with truth. They're tearing out the pages, yeah, they're burning down the fence. A war against the people and against our common sense. It's the sound of the silent. It's heavy and it's cold. It's the sound of the silent. It's heavy and it's cold. Check the independent outlets, yeah, they're catching all the heat. The ones who skip the press release and actually hit the beat. But the algorithms weaponize, the reach is getting throttled. The spirit of the journalist is suffocated bottle. They shadow ban the brave and they platform the fake. It's a psychological game with the highest of stakes. If you don't toe the line, then they label you a threat. Putting filters on your mouth like a suffocating net. They claim they're stopping harm, but they're only stopping thought. Democracy is auctioned and the airwaves have been bought. The gatekeepers are frantic, they're losing their control. So they're trying to put a padlock on the collective soul. They're cutting the wires, they're pulling the plugs, treating the seekers of truth like the thugs. From the boardrooms to the courtrooms, the pressure is rising. The death of the discourse of what they devise. The spark in the dark is a beautiful thing. Let the bells of the rebels and dissidents ring. Of peace if the cost is your tongue. The songs of the ancestors are waiting to be sung. They want us quiet, compliant, and staring at the floor while they're locking up the exits and they're bolting every door. But the truth is a frequency they can't fully jam. I'm a man with a mind, I'm not a ghost in their program. No more silence. The loudest thing in the world is the truth they try to hide. Keep the mic on, keep the eyes open. Keep the eye to the silence.
on the bill is looking faded and frayed. The fourth estate is corporate owned and heavily paid. They're trading in the facts for a narrative fabricated. If you leak the truth, you get deleted and degraded. Look, the teleprompter's glowing with the scripted out deception. A digital infection to manipulate perception. They steer the conversation in a singular direction, while the First Amendment's dying with no hope of resurrection. It's a manufactured crisis, yeah, they're selling us the fear. Whispering the lies until it's all the people here. They call it fact-checking just to keep the vision blurry, while they bury every whistleblower in a frantic hurry. We want silence in the streets, silence in the booth, a total moratorium on anyone with truth. They're tearing out the pages, yeah, they're burning down the fence. A war against the people and against our common sense. It's the sound of the silent, it's heavy and it's cold. It's the sound of the silent, it's heavy and it's cold. Check the independent outlets, yeah, they're catching all the heat. The ones who skip the press release and actually hit the beat. But the algorithms weaponize, the reach is getting throttled. The spirit of the journalist is suffocated bottle. They shadow ban the brave and they platform the fake. It's a psychological game with the highest of stakes. If you don't toe the line, then they label you a threat, putting filters on your mouth like a suffocating net. They claim they're stopping harm, but they're only stopping thought. Democracy is auctioned and the airwaves have been bought. The gatekeepers are frantic, they're losing their control, so they're trying to put a padlock on the collective soul. They're cutting the wires, they're pulling the plugs, treating the seekers of truth like the thugs. From the boardrooms to the courtrooms, the pressure is rising. The death of the discourse of what they're devising. The spark in the dark is a beautiful thing. Let the bells of the rebels and dissidents ring. Of peace if the cost is your tongue. The songs of the ancestors are waiting to be sung. They want us quiet, compliant, and staring at the floor while they're locking up the exits and they're bolting every door. But the truth is a frequency they can't fully jam. I'm a man with a mind, I'm not a ghost in their program. No more silence. The loudest thing in the world is the truth they try to hide. Keep the mic on, keep the eyes open. It's the sound of the silence. The ink is bleeding on the bill, it's looking faded and frayed. The fourth estate is corporate owned and heavily paid. They're trading in the facts for a narrative fabricated. And if you leak the truth, you get deleted and degraded. Look, the teleprompter's glowing with the scripted out deception. A digital infection to manipulate perception. They steer the conversation in a singular direction, while the First Amendment's dying with no hope of resurrection. It's a manufactured crisis, yeah, they're selling us to fear. Whispering the lies until it's all the people here. They call it fact-checking just to keep the vision blurry, while they bury every whistleblower in a frantic candy herd. They want silence in the streets, silence in the booth, a total moratorium on anyone with truth. They're tearing out the pages, yeah, they're burning down the fence. A war against the people and against our common sense. It's the sound of the silence, it's heavy and it's cold, selling out the future for the stories that are sold. They want silence, yeah, they want silence. Check the independent outlets, yeah, they catching all the heat. The ones who skip the press release and actually hit the beat. But the algorithms weaponize, the reach is getting throttled. The spirit of the journalist is suffocated bottle. They shadow ban the brave and they platform the fake. It's a psychological game with the highest of stakes. If you don't toe the line, then they label you a threat, putting filters on your mouth like a suffocating net. They claim they're stopping harm, but they're only stopping thought. Democracy is auctioned and the airwaves have been bought. The gatekeepers are frantic, they're losing their control, so they're trying to put a padlock on the collective soul. They're cutting the wires, they're pulling the plugs, treating the seekers of truth like they're thugs. From the boardrooms to the courtrooms, the pressure is rising. The death of the discourse is what they're devising. But a spark in the dark is a beautiful thing. Let the bells of the rebels and dissidents ring. Get it on, get it started, get it on, get it. Tell it on, get it started, say it. Oh, oh. Price of peace if the cost is your tongue.
tongue. The songs of the ancestors are waiting to be sung. They want us quiet, complying, and staring at the floor while they're locking up the exits and they're bolting every door. But the truth is a frequency they can't fully jam. I'm a man with a mind, I'm not a ghost in their program. No silence, the loudest thing in the world. Silence is the truth they try to hide. No silence, keep the mic on, keep the eyes open.
Hey y'all, what's up, what's up, what's up? I hope you can hear me very well. It's your girl Golden. I'm back with another video. And y'all know we got to tap into our political sector per usual. That's what we do over here. So we're going to be talking about a few things, and not just as things pertain to politics, which I talk about that a lot, but how things pertain to basically the space where we're at as people right now, as far as when it comes to being silenced, right? So we're going to get into all of that because we do understand that our amendments and our rights are trying to be snatched from us and taken from us, and basically changed altogether. Okay. And so I'm going to play a few videos and a few pieces of content this evening that really hone in on some of those conversations. And then I do have some bonus information that I'm going to play for you as well. Okay. So it is about 6:20 p.m. here, Eastern time in the Carolinas in the United States. It is nighttime, of course. It's dark outside and it's chilly. So I'm inside. I ain't out there. But yeah, it's kind of cold out tonight. But anyway, y'all, I hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time zone it is for you, respectively. I hope that you are having a good day and had a good day within that time zone. That's my phone. Anyway, so we're about to get on with it and get into some of this content. Just a few videos I wanted to bring and show y'all and have a little chit chat and talks in between or whatnot with some of these things. Okay. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm pretty sure you have experienced and you probably have noticed that there is some type of movement happening as to where you are being silenced. You're not able to speak truthfully. You can't say certain things. You can't use certain phrases. And you can't be real and honest with like your thoughts and feelings and opinions about things that we see and we experience happening, in our countries or in our world, period, right? So it seems like there is some type of media kill switch. So we're going to get into that, right? Now, we have seen before with a specific leadership or individual is a person that tries to control and manipulate the media. And so this is now continuously happening as it has happened before. So we're going to get into basically a video where y'all going to hear some updates and stuff about how some of mainstream media and news stations are being manipulated, weaponized, probably approached with money and getting sold and bought out, all of the things, right? and even me saying saying this right now, can put me in jeopardy. But this is exactly what this live is about. Talking about the real and what really is happening and going down, and being real about that and not having any fear on speaking on it. So if y'all have not heard or seen when it comes to, the political space and sector and the mainstream news stations and media, there's a CBS scandal. So from yesterday to today, okay, CBS News was supposed to put out a 60 minutes investigation that is titled CCOT. Okay. And basically this 60 minutes expose or episode they had was very important. Okay. Because it showed the actual truth into the deportation of Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador, and how they were being taken to some very notorious mega prisons instead of what was said and told to the people, them being taken back to their country. And so there was a 60 minutes, expose special that was supposed to be played via CBS, but it was pulled. It didn't get played. They didn't want us to see it. Okay. So there was a lot of internal conflicts happening. Okay. Sharon Alfonsi, the veteran correspondent, called the move political, not editorial. She revealed that the story had already been cleared 5 times by legal and standard teams. Let's repeat that. It has been cleared legally 5 times by legal and standard teams. But anyway, the precedent. Alfonsi warned that if a government refusal to comment becomes a valid reason to dead a story, we have effectively handed the administration a kill switch for any truth they find inconvenient. The truth that they were trying to hide behind the CCOT evidence, Human Rights Watch and Custodial release a comprehensive report that came out in November of 2025 detailing what deportees are facing inside CCOT. What are those things? Systematic torture. The report documents daily beatings, actual violence, and electric shocks. The conditions that these detainees have to live under are kept in detention, denied-based hygiene, and held in overcrowded cells. Okay? It's nasty work. And the legality of it all. The U.S. is reportedly using the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, a wartime law, to forcibly disappear these people and bypass the judicial review. We also have a few more things we'll be talking about and getting into as well. Alligator Alcatraz, torture on U.S. soil. Earlier this month, around December 4th, Amnesty International published a harrowing investigation into the Everglades detention facility, known as Alligator Alcatraz. Detainees are reportedly shackled inside a 2x2 foot outdoor metal cage as punishment, exposed to the South Florida elements and insects for up to a day without water. Human rights violations. Y'all know this is human rights violations. The report details unsanitary conditions, medical neglect, and violence from guards. The Amnesty says that there are extreme amounts of torture that happen on a day-to-day basis at these facilities. Then we have to get into silencing the law. The ICC shakedown as of this week, and today is the 22nd. This is reported as of December the 20th, which was just 2 days prior. The U.S. government has officially sanctioned 2 more judges from the International Criminal Court, ICC. And their reason for doing so is these judges are investigating potential war crimes. The impact of all of this, by freezing the assets of international judges and threatening their families, the administration is attempting to silence the only legal body capable of holding them accountable. Per usual, y'all, I have videos to show and other individuals that are talking about these things as well. And so we will speak, and hear from Ben Masilas over on, the MeidasTouch network, who has also been attacked and been approached by the government, actually, for telling the truth and reporting and bringing news to us that we really need to hear. So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. I hope y'all like the song on the intro. I made it. It is called Silence. And it is literally how I feel. I do believe that we are moving around and walking around in a world, in places and spaces where people want to silence other people, or entities or groups or organizations want to silence people from speaking up and speaking out and telling the truth about how things are really being done and what is really going down. And when you do speak up and you talk about those said things, there's typically some type of consequence that you will meet. But let's get into this video, y'all. I don't want to do too much talking. Let Ben do it. He does it so well. And again, y'all, you can find the links and all of the information to these channels in my description box. Okay, I will put that in there for y'all. If you want to check out some of these channels, please head over there and show support. Subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the content. These are really great platforms that you can get some really good information from that is going to be truthful. And yes, I do understand, there are people that's like, we need to hear from both sides. I listen to all sides, all 4 corners. I'm a square up in here. I'm very much a square. But anyway, I listen to all sides, right? So I do listen to like Dems. I listen to Republicans. I listen to independents. I listen to all different types of content creators and networks and, all of these things like that. I keep it fair. I really do. But the ones that I really, really, like and I really support are the ones that I typically will bring to my platform and showcase and show y'all and promote to y'all, because I like the way that they do things. I like the way that they present information and pertinent information that we need to know and we need to hear. And I like how they present their content. That's it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. Let's hear from Ben. We're going to be talking about CBS, okay? CBS got something going on right now, and y'all will see exactly what it is. Let's get into it.
I think this will be one of the most important videos I've ever done at the MeidasTouch network, because it speaks to how corporate news has utterly capitulated to this gangster Trump regime, and why we need independent media, independent news, and why I am so humbled for your support, with MeidasTouch Network leading the way for all independent news. And in fact, our independent news is beating Fox and all other corporate news right now. And so I want to talk about CBS capitulating to the gangster regime that doesn't just tarnish its reputation, it has destroyed CBS. CBS is done. CBS is dead. CBS is gone. It has utterly been taken over by the gangster Trump regime. And we saw what they did yesterday, which is what I want to.
I'm so sorry to interrupt the live. We about to keep going. But yo, when he says that gangster Trump regime, yo, that be having me rolling for real, for real. I'll be sitting here laughing when I heard him say that earlier when I watched this. The gangster Trump regime. Child, that mess is too funny for me. But anyway, let's keep going. But let's stay on the topic and the importance of what we're talking about. people's amendments and rights are being, taken from them. We have there is no freedom of speech anymore. Like things that you say and things that you talk about, you're getting silenced, you're getting struck, you're getting taken down. You can't say it the way it needs to be said and keep it all the way 100 and real with what it really is. Like there's all of that. And then we have these major news networks that we know have always been relied on, especially our ancestors know this, like our grandfathers, our grandmothers, things of that nature. They've always been relied on to bring us the truth and the real information about what is going on, not just in our world, but in sometimes our local states and cities and areas. And now we're seeing that these platforms are being bought out, selling out, or silenced because there's truths that certain people just don't want the major majority of the people to know, right? Because not everybody watches the news or cares, but the ones that do, are they receiving the real information and the truth as to what is happening and going on? And we see that there's a lot of manipulation when it comes to that. And if you are somebody who wants to speak on that and do that type of work, you get attacked and you get silenced because they do not want you to talk about it. That is the importance of this conversation and this live that we're doing tonight. So let's let men keep talking, but child, he had me cracking up. He's talking about the Trump. What did he say? Child, let's keep going.
Highlight right now. So just hours before 60 Minutes was said to air a story on deportees who were sent by the Trump administration to the, I'd call it a concentration camp. They call it a terrorist detention center in El Salvador, describing the brutal and torturous conditions. 60 Minutes announces that it pulled the segment and it will air it in the future, maybe. So after promoting this segment, CBS posts this editor's note, December 21st, 2025. The broadcast lineup for tonight's edition of 60 Minutes has been updated. Our report inside CCOT, that's the terrorist detention center, I call it a concentration camp, you can call it what you want to, will air in a future broadcast. Now, they previously had been showing this promo. You can see the promo right here. Then they took the promo down. And here's what the promo said. A group of Venezuelan men thought they were being deported from the U.S. back to Venezuela. Instead, they were delivered to CCOT, the notorious maximum security prison in El Salvador, where they were shackled and paraded before cameras. This Sunday, two of those men tell 60 Minutes their story. Now, the atrocities that were committed at CCOT, that are being committed at CCOT, but that the United States government has aided and abetted. These are crimes against humanity. Physical torture, sexual abuse, sexual torture, isolation. These people who were sent there, who were kidnapped off the streets and disappeared there many months ago, suffer the most heinous of heinous conditions. And 60 Minutes was going to tell that story until the Trump regime intervened and interfered and shut it down. Now, we know that over the past few weeks, the Trump regime has been attacking CBS and 60 Minutes. Remember a few weeks back, Marjorie Taylor Greene had an interview with 60 Minutes where she described the Trump regime's cover-up of the Epstein files and how the Trump regime had lost touch with the American people by claiming that everything is affordable and we're in a golden age. And Marjorie Taylor Greene says that she's done with this MAGA, that this MAGA movement is dead, that they're liars. And then Donald Trump responded, demanding that CBS provide an apology to Donald Trump. Here's what Donald Trump wrote. The only reason Marjorie Trader Brown, Green turns to brown, went bad is that she was jilted. Wow, 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 wow. Then he goes on to say, since they bought it, 60 Minutes has actually gotten worse. Oh well, far worse things can happen. P.S. I hereby demand a complete and total apology, though far too late to be meaningful, from Leslie Stahl in 60 Minutes for her incorrect and libelous statements about Hunter's laptop, President DJT. And you see 60 Minutes promoting that interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene December 5th, 2025. Now, you will also recall that some of the top CBS executives previously quit after they saw CBS capitulating back in April and May. You'll recall, for example, on April 22nd, 2025, the head of 60 Minutes, Bill Owens, announced his resignation because he said his journalistic independence was compromised. Back then, you had Paramount looking to sell itself to Skydance, which was owned by Larry Ellison's kid, who was acquiring Paramount, and it needed the approval of the Trump regime's FCC. Then on May 19th, 2025, the CBS News president and CEO, Wendy McMahon, stepped down from the network. In a memo to the staff, she cited leadership differences and said, quote, "It's become clear that the company and I do not agree on a path forward." Shortly thereafter, on July 2nd, 2025, CBS and its owner Paramount settled that frivolous Trump lawsuit over former Vice President Kamala Harris's October 2024 interview with 60 Minutes that Donald Trump alleged, oh, they edited in a sequence that defamed me to the tune of billions of dollars, and that he suffered emotional distress because they edited the interview in very kind of minor and cosmetic ways. CBS and Paramount settled for $16 million and threw 60 Minutes under the bus. And then shortly thereafter, on July 24th, 2025, the FCC announces that it would allow Paramount to merge with the Hollywood studio Skydance, clearing the biggest remaining hurdle for the deal after Donald Trump gets paid. But Donald Trump has been going after CBS and saying, "You're not being nice to me. What's up with these new leaders? You were supposed to do what Trump wants you to do. Why'd you go and show what Marjorie Taylor Greene did?" And Trump's been relentless about that. So on December 8th, 2025, he posted, "The only reason Marjorie Trader Brown went bad is that she was jilted and that CBS owes me an apology." Then on December 16th, 2025, Donald Trump said, "For those people that think I'm close with the new owners of CBS, please understand that 60 Minutes has treated me far worse since the so-called takeover than they have ever treated me before. If they are friends, I'd hate to see my enemies." And at a recent speech that Donald Trump gave, here is what he says. Just play this clip at his speech.
They don't scream, but NBC is really bad. And CBS, I mean, I love the new owners of CBS. Something happens to them, though. 60 Minutes has treated me worse under the new ownership than they just keep treating me. They just keep hitting me. It's crazy. And
all right. So with that as background, I would normally want to play you the trailer from this 60 Minutes piece. Now, if I play you the trailer, CBS will go after the MeidasTouch network on this YouTube channel. They're known for attacking us on this YouTube channel. So I want you to go to Meidas Plus. That's our Substack, where we'll be able to provide additional coverage there. So go to MeidasPlus.com now and subscribe to MeidasPlus.com. While you're at it, subscribe, though, to this YouTube channel, because independent news is more important than ever. And we're seeing what state regime media looks like in real time, capitulating to a gangster regime. So make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and check out MeidasPlus.com right now and learn more in just a little bit. Okay, so now I want to share with you what Sharon Alfonsi, a correspondent for 60 Minutes, sent in an internal email to colleagues stating that the CBS News editor-in-chief, Barry Weiss, spiked our story about the Trump administration and the transfer of deportees to a prison in El Salvador. In the email, which was first reported on by the Wall Street Journal, Alfonsi compares the decision to spike the story to another massive scandal. And it goes on to talk about how Weiss declined to speak with her about this decision. She also says the move was political rather than editorial. Our story was screened 5 times and cleared by both the CBS attorneys and Standards and Practices, Alfonsi wrote. It is factually correct. But Barry Weiss intervened. And Barry Weiss was saying, we need to get Stephen Miller on the program, and we need to get more of Trump's voices on this program. Well, when 60 Minutes had asked for comment, the Trump regime's Department of Homeland Security and others did not provide any comment. And so this is what Barry Weiss was trying to push for, that she wanted to see Stephen Miller featured and other things. People are like, we've got a good story here. Let's just tell what's actually happening.
You know, it's wild. We talk all the time about heart health, gut health, brain health, but almost never about the most underrated organ in your body, your liver. It's doing over 500 functions every single day, filtering unwanted elements, supporting digestion, helping with energy. And we usually don't think about it until month subscription.
Let's just take a look at the Alfonsi letter so you can see it for yourself. She, again, is the 60 Minutes correspondent that was part of this segment that was now killed by the Trump regime. Thank you for the notes and texts. I apologize for not reaching out earlier. I learned Saturday that Barry Weiss spiked our story inside CCOT, which was supposed to air tonight. We, Ori and I, asked for a call to discuss her decision. She did not afford us that courtesy or opportunity. Our story was screened 5 times and cleared by both CBS attorneys and Standards and Practices. It is factually correct, in my view. Pulling it now after every rigorous internal check has been met is not an editorial decision. It is a political one. We requested responses to questions and or interviews with DHS, the White House, and the State Department. Government silence is a statement, not a veto. Their refusal to be interviewed is a tactical maneuver designed to kill the story. If the administration's refusal to participate becomes a valid reason to spike a story, we have effectively handed them a kill switch for any reporting they find inconvenient. If the standard for airing a story becomes, quote, the government must agree to be interviewed, then the government effectively gains control over the 60 Minutes broadcast. We go from an investigative powerhouse to a stenographer for the state. These men risk their lives to speak with us. We have a moral and professional obligation to the sources who entrusted us with their stories. Abandoning them now is a betrayal of the most basic tenet of journalism. Give voice to the voiceless. And then it goes on to say, we have been promoting this story on social media for days. Our viewers are expecting it. When it fails to air without a credible explanation, the public will correctly identify this as corporate censorship. We are trading in 50 years of gold standard reputation for a single week of political quiet. I care too much about this broadcast to watch it be dismantled without a fight. Signed by Sharon right there. Now, I want to remind you what the FCC chair recently said at a hearing. This is Brendan Carr. Brendan Carr said that the FCC is no longer independent and that the FCC will work with the Trump regime to attack any network that makes fun of Trump or that reports negatively about the Trump regime. Listen to Brendan Carr in his own words. Here, play this clip.
Yes or no? Is the FCC an independent agency?
Senator, thanks for that question. I think that,
yes or no is all we need, sir. Yes or no, is it independent?
Well, there's a test for this in the law, in the key portion of that test.
Yes or no, Brendan?
The key portion of that test is...
I'm going to go to Commissioner Trusty. So just so you know, Brendan, on your website, it just simply says, man, the FCC is independent. This isn't a trick question.
Okay, the FCC is
yes
not.
Or no?
Is not.
Okay.
Is not.
So is your website wrong? Is your website lying?
Possibly. The FCC is not an independent agency.
Okay, can I read this to you? The FCC's mission on the homepage of the FCC, man, an independent U.S. government agency overseen by Congress. Is that factual or is that a lie?
The FCC is not formally an independent agency.
Is this true or is this a lie?
I'm happy to answer your question.
Okay.
The sine qua non of
Thank you, Chairman. I'll get
independence
back
is
to you.
being removable by.
Ciao. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick song break. And then after we come back, we'll play the rest of that. But as you can completely see, what we know to be true, if you ask somebody a yes or no question and they start saying all these other type of things and giving all these other type of excuse or explanation, typically that person is hiding something or lying, and they just don't want to answer the question. It's yes or no. How many times did this man have to say, is it yes or no? And he going through all of the things, child, just jumping through the hoops. But this is our conversation here tonight, y'all. I hope you're enjoying it. We are talking about overall, aside from this specific story with the government, we're talking about freedom of speech. We're talking about how individuals and platforms are being attacked. They are being taken down. They're being fought against if they speak up and they tell the truth, which they are supposed to be able to do under the amendment of freedom of speech. But that is being taken away, not just on personal platforms, but now we even see on major news networks as well. They're also being attacked and stuff when it comes to telling what really needs to be told. So anyway, let's play this song real quick and I'll be right back, y'all. We'll finish this.
The ink is bleeding on the bill, it's looking faded and frayed. The fourth estate is corporate owned and heavily paid. They're trading in the facts for a narrative fabricated. And if you leak the truth, you get deleted and degraded. Look, the teleprompter's glowing with a scripted out deception. A digital infection to manipulate perception. They steer the conversation in a singular direction, while the First Amendment's dying with no hope of resurrection. It's a manufactured crisis, yeah, they're selling us to fear. Whispering the lies until it's all the people here. They call it fact-checking just to keep the vision blurry, while they bury every whistleblower in a friend and can't be heard. They want silence in the streets, silence in the booth, a total moratorium on anyone with truth. They're tearing out the pages, yeah, they're burning down the fence. A war against the people and against our common sense. It's the sound of the silence, it's heavy and it's cold. Selling out the future for the stories that are sold. They want science, yeah, they want silence. Check the independent outlets, yeah, they catching all the heat. The ones who skip the press release and actually hit the beat. But the algorithms weaponize, the reach is getting throttled. The spirit of the journalist is suffocated bottle. They shadow ban the brave and they platform the fake. It's a psychological game with the highest of stakes. If you don't toe the line, then they label you a threat, putting filters on your mouth like a suffocating net. They claim they're stopping harm, but they're only stopping thought. Democracy is auctioned and the airwaves have been bought. The gatekeepers are frantic, they're losing their control, so they trying to put a padlock on the collective soul. They're cutting the wires, they're pulling the plugs, treating the seekers of truth like they're thugs. From the boardrooms to the courtrooms, the pressure is rising. The death of the discourse is what they're devising. But a spark in the dark is a beautiful thing. Let the bells of the rebels and dissidents ring. Get it on to the started, get it on to the set it on to the sonic set. Price of peace if the cost is your tongue. The songs of the ancestors are waiting to be sung. They want us quiet, complying, and staring at the floor while they're locking up the exits and they're bolting every door. But the truth is a frequency they can't fully jam. I'm a man with a mind, I'm not a ghost in their program. No silence, the loudest thing in the world. Silence is the truth they try to hide. No silence, keep the mic on, keep the eyes open.
The president.
Chairman, I have a little bit of time. I'll get back to you.
The FCC is not an independent agency, formally speaking.
Appreciate you saying that and being honest with the American people.
Now, this is when Senator Klobuchar cross-examined Brendan Carr. Watch what he said here. Play this clip.
Carr, in 2022, you tweeted Political satire is one of the oldest and most important forms of free speech. It challenges those in power while using humor to draw more people into the discussion. That's why people in influential positions have always targeted it for censorship. Yes or no, do you still agree that political satire should be protected speech?
Yes, Senator. And whenever that satire or any other programming is over the public airways for broadcasters, there's a public interest standard, and there's a news distortion rule, a broadcast hoax rule.
You answered it. You answered it. Yes, but I'm just
opportunity rule.
I'm going to go on.
That particular instance too had to do with speech on social media, where Biden administrations were trying to shut down political speech. Again, an area where there is no license, there's no public interest standard.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Robust, wide open speech.
I believe too that there is no place in chilling political satire. But after Jimmy Kimmel's monologue, you went on a podcast and suggested that ABC should take Kimmel off the air, saying we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Those were
Well, the internet never fails. I promise you it don't, right? We all living in these technological times and stuff, and we engage and we make our content stuff on the internet. We do videos and stuff like that. And that's why there's always checks and balances, right? Things can always be reviewed, and things can be brought back up to the surface. And it's it's unfortunate for these people that a lot of this, and I love the fact that people stand on business and they call it out like they see it. You say one thing one day and you believe something one day, and then the next day is something different. But there's always things you can refer back to and you can review when it comes to what you put out there, right? Because there's always a digital footprint. And the internet, this internet never loses. It always wins. Because once you put something up out there, it's out there for good, okay? And now we have, individuals, politicians and such, in certain places and spaces that are out here engaging and operating and using the internet as well. So a lot of things that they say and they do and how they move, we are able to trace that and refer back to that. And look at the face. Look at the standstill right here, where I paused the video. Look at the standstill. Look at the face of this guy. This is a guy. This is a person who knows deep down inside, feeling it in his gut right now, but don't want to admit it. That bro, you know what you said previously. You know what you did previously, and then you switch up and you want to change up and you act like that proof and that evidence isn't out there. And then when asked the question to your face or you to answer, you skating and tap dancing around the answer because you already know you popped. Answer the question, you already popped. It don't matter if you answer or if you don't, honestly. You're already popped. You're already caught up in a lie, up in the switch up in a situation. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, bro, look at his face. This is the face of someone that's popped, bro. He has been popped. He has seriously been popped, and he knows it. He feels it in his gut. I bet you his stomach is tumbling and rumbling right now when he was sitting right there looking like that in this still frame. Crazy. But this is what we've been seeing a lot of, checks and balances, right? We're seeing a lot of people who are being checked. They being, like, yo, did you say this? Did you say that? Did you do this? Did you do that? Oh, all of a sudden now you saying this, but you used to say that. Yeah. People remember, and they will check you and bring those things said forward for you and put it on a platform or a platter or a plate for you to dissect it. You said this, you did this. This is what you believed in. This is what you said. Like, what is it? You didn't switched up. What's the difference? I love it. I love every minute of it. I eat it up. I eat it up like cake. I do. And I've been in a position as well. But, I just think like, yo, this is what needs to happen. Checks and balances. Okay. We need to see more of this. We need people to hold the same level of energy, especially when it comes to our government, their White House, and all of that. I love it. I love individuals that's willing to go in gung-ho and check these people right where they stand as far as the lies that they tell, how they move, and how they operate. And guess what? There are things that are digital proofs that people hold and reside. So that way, when you start lying, they can present them to you. I think that's the best way to go about this stuff. People will lie.
For your words, do you think it is appropriate to use your position to threaten companies that broadcast political satire?
I think any licensee that operates on the public airways has a responsibility to comply with the public interest standard, and that's been the case for decades.
I asked if you think it's appropriate for you to use your position to threaten companies. And this incident with Kimmel wasn't an isolated event. You've launched investigations into every major broadcast network except Fox. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's true or not. We do have investigations going on NPR and PBS. We have a number of investigations that are ongoing. I think if you step back over the years, I think the FCC has walked away from enforcing the public interest standard, and I don't think that's a good thing.
Okay, you brought up social media. So do you think it's appropriate for after a horrific murder and the stabbing of Rob Reiner and his wife, do you think it's appropriate for someone to say that it happened when they know better, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome? He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights. Do you think that's appropriate for the president of the United States to do that? And if Jimmy Kimmel would have said that, would have you have threatened to take him off the air?
Senator, look, Democrats on this dais are accusing me of engaging in censorship, and now you're trying to encourage me to police speech on the internet. I'm simply not going to do it.
I'm just asking
Broadcast
you. These are the
television
kind of
is-
words. I think they are cruel. I think they hurt President Trump to say that kind of thing. I think it hurts him with trust from the American people. But this is the kind of stuff that's going on right now. And yet you are going after broadcast stations.
Now, just a reminder, Barry Weiss is also was a competitor of the MeidasTouch network on Substack. That's one of the reasons I'm saying go to MeidasPlus.com, subscribe to our Substack, and send a message now as well to Barry Weiss, because she ran the free press. They're like, she's been doing this since like 2018 on Substack. And believe it or not, the free press is number one. Meidas is right there, neck and neck with the free press. But we just started a year ago, and she started in 2018. So help us beat her, by the way, because I want to get her off the top. So go to MeidasPlus.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel here. But Barry Weiss was appointed editor-in-chief, and she's a tool of the regime. She's a tool of the Trump regime at this point. And she was, in my opinion, I'm giving you my First Amendment right opinions right now, put in place to help Donald Trump and to help the regime and to basically turn CBS into Fox News Light. And I put news in quotes.
Do you see how that works, right? Because what I'm saying here and what I'm trying to show is you got to pay attention to the bigger picture, okay? There are individuals that sometimes are on both sides of a situation, a conversation, or an issue. You have to decide at the core of it, what is it that you feel and what you think about these said issues, right? So clearly these are conversations, arguments, issues, fallouts going on between these people. But you have to understand how you feel about it. What's the principles that you stand on? What's the integrity that you have as far as the situation? To me, the woman up there, if she's a Trump person or a Trump person, or, regime, whatever it is they're calling it, I call it like I see it, despite whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, whatever side you're on. I'm speaking on what I see happening, right, when it comes to the media space. And I know that in the media space, even within the news sectors, right? Which is what most people depend on to bring them the information and the truth of the things that's happening, not just locally around them, but globally. There has been a corruption. It may have always been there. Maybe when it was happening before, I was just too young to know because I was too young to really understand how the media worked. But we see what's happening within the media on either side. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're reporting and supporting Republicans. It doesn't matter if they're reporting and supporting Democrats. There is corruption within the spaces, period, right? There's corruption within a lot of spaces, not even just media, individuals who are on a certain party sector within the Senate, sitting up there as judges, right? There is corruption going on, and we know that it's not working. It's not working. Whatever these people are doing, despite whatever side they're on, it's not working for the people. It's not working for the American people. I can talk about this country alone because that's the country that I live in. That's all I can speak on. Anybody else who lives in a different country, they'll speak on how they feel and they think about their leadership and what's happening there. But I'm only speaking on the United States. This is not working. Okay? Republican, Democrat, independent, in the middle, I don't care, whoever, whatever party, whatever space or stance you take, I don't care. It is not working. And to go against people's rights, to go against the amendment, to say that people cannot speak out and talk about how they think, how they feel, and what their thoughts are on a lot of these things that are happening, that they get attacked, silenced, or try to be bought or swayed in a different type of direction. It's not working. It's not working and it's not right. And this is happening within our governmental structure and system here in the United States. But we also see like this is also happening in the social media spaces as well, such as like this YouTube and all these things. I like to report on things like this. And I like to point out the correlation between the two. Because there is a correlation. A lot of things that's happening up over there is the same things to be happening on a lot of these platforms and these social media spaces and places as well. It's the same type of energy. So I like to bring these things forward to see, because it's not just necessarily, oh, let's talk about this because it's political. No, let's talk about this because it's impertinent when it comes to the amendments and the freedoms that we have, or we're supposed to have, at least in our country. And like I said, I can't speak on other countries because I don't live there and I don't know. But I know in the United States what it's supposed to be. And I know it's not that right now. And for a minute now, it has not been that. And moving forward, we don't know what is going to come. But it's not right. And people need to be able to speak up and stand up for their rights and their freedom of speech. They do not need to be silenced because they are not speaking up for, or they're not cheerleading for the individual that desires to be cheerleaded for, if that's not the person that they want to cheer for and support. They should not be retaliated against because they don't rock with that side. It's very simple and plain to me. I don't know if it's confusing to anybody else, but it's very simple and plain for me. I see the correlation. Attacks because you don't side with somebody that you don't agree with and you don't rock with. You think the opposite of whatever it is that they talking about and they pushing. You see it differently, but you are in trouble. You get attacked. You get torn down. Like, this is happening in our governmental political sector. This is happening in our media sectors. News media sector. The medias that we rely on, or a lot of people rely on, to bring them the truth, the facts, the real of what's really happening out here in our world, in our places, in our spaces. They can get attacked, but they also can get bought out. That's another thing. because money seems to talk, right? We know that. So if the money and the dollar signs is big enough, people jump ship and they fly and flap their wings on over to the other side for the money. And half the time they don't even have to understand or even believe in the things that they saying, they marching for, they preaching for, they stand for. They don't care about none of that, honestly. They just care about the money. They just care about the accolades. This is the world that we live in. This is how things is moving and shaking. And a lot of people is moving and shaking this same type of way. Let's keep going.
So let me share with you the stories of the people at CCOT that CBS is censoring. This is from Human Rights Watch. You have arrived in hell. Torture and other abuses against Venezuelans in El Salvador's mega prison. The nightmare began the moment they took me off the plane. Gonzalo Y, 26-year-old from Zulia State in Venezuela. The United States removed Gonzalo and 251 other Venezuelans to El Salvador in March and April 2025. When the plane landed, officers forced him and others to kneel with their heads down. He said he told one of them that he had a spine problem and could not keep his head low, but one officer struck him with a baton in the back of the neck. On a bus to the maximum security prison known as the Center for Terrorism Confinement, Centro de Confinamiento Terrorismo, CCOT, guards beat him again, he said. When we arrived at the entrance of CCOT, guards made us kneel so they could shave our heads. One of the officers hit me on the legs with a baton and I fell to the ground on my knees. Everyone, he said, was subjected to the same treatment. The prison director told us, you have arrived in hell. In CCOT, guards and riot police beat and abused the Venezuelans constantly. The guards beat me many times in the hallways of the prison module and in the punishment cell. They beat us almost every single day. And it goes on to talk about how the United States was complicit in this and how these Venezuelans thought that they were going back to Venezuela, but they were put in this essentially concentration camp. They talk about how they were subject to constant beatings, including sexual violence. Many of these abuses constitute torture under international human rights law. And this is a story that CBS at first reported on, but now is covering up because the Trump regime is upset. When the Trump regime had every opportunity to participate in this in the first instance. So as I said, I think this video is one of the most important videos we've done at the MeidasTouch Network because we're calling out CBS. We're calling out state regime media. And as I reflect, as we reach the end of the year, what we've built together, and when I'm saying we, I'm talking about you. I think independent news has been one of the most important sources of getting the truth out. Could you imagine if there wasn't independent media right now? And one of the things that I'm most proud about is not just the MeidasTouch Network and this community helping grow this network. By the way, make sure you hit subscribe now. Go to MeidasPlus.com. I am probably most proud of inspiring other independent media to rise, for corporate news anchors who are fed up to leave and start their own independent news, that we can build this network approach.
All right, so absolutely what he's saying, I would like to say the same as well. Shout out to independent news networks, such as great platforms as of MeidasTouch. There's also Reese Waters, as we have seen the hectic troubled waters of things that people like Don Lemon have gone through and Joy Reid have went through, being in news spaces and sectors where they were being forced or, told that they have to lie and not keep it real and not tell the truth about what's going on, and decided to take it another direction. And as they have, and they created their own independent channels and sectors of being independent news reporters, we have been getting the real. So we have been learning a lot of things that we probably wouldn't have known if it wasn't for these individuals telling us and reporting on what is really happening here, not just in this country, but worldwide. So shout out to independent news reporters that bring this type of media to us, that make this type of content. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all support and will go and check out their channels as well. And that's why I like to bring these things here. I consider myself to be a third party person. I'm not a reporter in any shape or form. I do not report. I can speak, I can read, I can talk about things that are going on. But that is not my sector. That is not what I do. But what I will do, I will attach you and connect you to individuals that do it, and they do it well. And I want to support those people. I want to uplift them, and I want to advertise them here on my channel. And I listen and to their content, and I enjoy it, and it educates me. It teaches me things. It tells me things that's going on in the real way, right? Without all of the shadiness and slip it up under the rug and pretend that it's not this when it's that. I don't like reports and people that move and operate like that. I like reports and people that keep it real and give us the real and the truth. So these are the type of channels and platforms that I watch and support as a third party. So we're going to go ahead and finish this video out. I'm trying to see what direction we're going to go, because there's a few things that I wanted to share with y'all as well. I have another video, but it is a long one, so I probably won't be able to play all of that. But I wanted to play this one here, right? Because I wanted us to be able to have this conversation and come to the realization and understand that there is a suppression happening when it comes to freedom of speech. And we know that. We know that. If you work on YouTube, or you're a person, who moves around and operates or makes content on YouTube, you know that there's a suppression of freedom of speech. And now we are seeing like this is heavy work. That's my next phrase, heavy work. Heavy work, because this is being suppressed now from major news stations, and those type of places and spaces are the ones that we depend on to bring us the truth and the real about what's going on in our country, in our states, in our cities, what's really happening. And most of the content and the truth that we are able to see that is happening within our country, in our cities, in our states, does not come from mainstream news sites anymore. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It's just, I gotta keep it real. It's individual platforms such as MeidasTouch. It's individuals that may be outside and hit record on their cell phone and bring it to the social media spaces to tell what's really going on, how things are really going down. This is how we get majority of the truth as far as reporting when things are happening, right? Especially heinous things, impertinent things that we need to know about, we need to see, we need to tap into. These are the sectors and the spaces where we get that from. And thank God for that. Look how technology works, huh? It ain't just robots and self-driving cars, This is helping us be on the know when it comes to what we need to know, so we can move through this life accordingly. So we're going to go ahead and finish out this video, and I'm going to play a little bit of some of the other chat, just a little bit of the chit chat from the next video that I want to show, which is also another platform, another really great platform that I've come across and I watch now and I love. We'll play a little bit from that. We will take a song break in just a moment too. We're not going to move beyond the 2-hour mark. We're doing pretty decently right now because we're at the 1 hour mark. 1 hour, 8 minutes, whatever, mark. So we can squeeze all of that in before we get to the 2-hour mark. But yeah, so, I just wanted to come and make some commentary and stuff on that. And in addition to the conversation right now, right, around our freedom of speech, right, and how we are being suppressed from speaking out, saying the truth, saying what we think, saying what we feel, all of that, you get attacked for it, boop, boop, boop. Aside from that, we want to talk about this 60 minutes this 60 Minutes interview that was supposed to be displayed on CBS Network, CBS News Network, and what it was about. It was about the treatment, right, of individuals who could, yeah, okay, they may be immigrants, but being detained, right, by this form and this level of ICE, they say, that have been severely abused and mistreated. The truth of the matter behind all of that, which we see it, thank you to, like I said, individual reporters that's willing to talk about it and bring it to the surface. Thank you to technology and cell phones that's able to record it, and individuals that can report it and post it so we can see it as a people. What is going on out here in certain places and spaces, how these people are being treated like they are not human. That is basically what all of this is about. Okay, this is about our rights being taken from us. That's why I wanted to do this live about, so we can bring that to the forefront. But you know, I'll be talking about ICE and this new version of ICE. Let's be very clear about that, because what I want to say and I want to make clear is it's always been around. The organizational group has always been around, and they do their job, and we understand that they have to do it. We get that, okay? We're not stupid. We don't know that. But this version, or this group that has now come to attack and terrorize people, this ain't how it's supposed to go at all. It don't work like that. It don't operate like that. This is something different, okay? And we know that. So we watching the videos and we're seeing the content of individuals being mistreated, being slung down to the ground, being choked out, knees on the neck, foot on the back. You don't treat nobody like that. I don't care if it's legally so that they ain't got their paperwork and things like that in order, and they may have to leave here. That's okay. Look, do what you got to do, because that is how the law says things are supposed to go. It's not my bidding. I don't feel that way, but that's what the law say. And you can carry out the law without being disgusting. And these things that I am seeing and how these people are treating individuals is disgusting. It's inhumane, right? And so that expose and that interview that was supposed to be aired on CBS, I believe it's necessary. It's necessary. It should have been aired. I wish it still does get aired. Why hide that? Oh, hide the truth, right? Hide what you don't want people to see, but you're so embarrassed to come out because you know it ain't right. Anytime you need to hide something, it's because you're ashamed. You're ashamed of it. You're shameful and how these people are out here doing. This is not ICE. This is not, Border Patrol. This is not that. And I want to make that very clear, because I do understand that there are upstanding individuals that work for these select groups and organizations, and they go to work every day, and they don't do that type of stuff. And they didn't, and they haven't, and they probably won't, because that's not what they believe in. That's not what they're moving for. They're working their job, and they know the laws and the regulations of their job, and it has to be done. Half of the time, they probably don't even want to do that. And that's not even as bad as what this group of people are doing. This is a different group of people. We got vigilantes coming out here, putting on Party City costumes, pretending to be ICE agents and all of these things, just so they can wrestle somebody down to the street, bust them in their head, mistreat them, misuse them, because what? They're hateful. They're hateful and they're nasty work. A lot of them are racist too. Let's be clear about it. But when you talk about these things, you try to be honest about what it really is and what's really going on. What are we talking about? What did Ben just say? You get silenced. You can't talk the truth. You can't tell the real about what it really is and what's really going down. This is what we're facing right now. All of it ties in together. So anyway, we're going to let Ben finish. I'm going to get out my feelings and stop, talking for just a bit. And then I'm going to play a little bit of this next video that I want y'all to hear with some really great talking points and topics as well. So we will get into that next. And I got another video coming in. I do. And y'all will hear that one soon. I seen some more nasty work. Like, I'm seeing so much nasty work. Y'all, I really can't. Like, I'm lost for words. You hear me? I'm gagging, I'm choking. I can't even get the words out. I can't even talk. Like, it is so much nasty work going on. But that's a lie for another day. Anyway, let's go ahead and play a little bit of this, because Ben about to wrap it up. And after he wrap it up, we'll do a song break, and then we'll get into this next video that I want to play just a tad bit of, because I really do like the talking points, and I like the energy too. So we'll play that, talk about some of those topics, and then we'll get up out of here.
Democracy, independent media voices together to stand up against these right-wing oligarchs. But we're under attack each and every day. Each and every day. That's why we need your help. That's why I keep saying it, because they've got right-wing oligarch billionaires hoisting them up. We need your help. We do. Go to MeidasPlus.com and then also subscribe to this YouTube channel. So I know that was comprehensive and long, but I wanted to make sure I hit every aspect there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll keep on reporting fearlessly and never bend the knee to this gangster, criminal, fascist regime. Hit subscribe. Hey, Midas Mighty, it's
Yo, when he be saying gangster regime, yo, that be taking me out. That mess be making me laugh. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a little quick song break. And after the song break, I have another video that I'm going to show y'all from another great channel that I came across that has a really excellent podcast. I love their energy. I like how they keep it real. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But let's see. What song should I play? Y'all know I got a million of them. Then there's that. Let's just go ahead and play this one real quick. I'll be right back.
Sickness spreads in whispers, and poison wells in corrupted. But a community with a strong immune system develops its own antidote. This is the cure. Listen. Listen, there's a venom in the discourse, a toxin in the talk, a parasitic agent feasting on the soul of the block. It spreads through the timeline, infecting the youth, disguising as poison. In the fragment of truth, it preaches self-interest, promotes the individual dream, anything to fracture the collective, to poison the stream. We see the symptoms in the envy, the distrust that you breed. You planting seeds of chaos, fulfilling the system's need. This ain't about a person, this is about a constitution. You're a weapon of division, a tool of social pollution. Like the agenda's getting bold. Why? Your people have been sold. Jig is up. You're the poison, the cancer, and the cold. You don't fight for the cause. You just lighten the load for the oppressed. Lie. Hear the conscience, see the fraud. Bye. Your whole damn act's a fraud. You're a symptom of the sickness, a tool of the trade. For every conscience that we take, you pull us from the shade back into the darkness. Fighting sister against brother while you collect the profits, then go poison another. You weaponize our trauma, you monetize our pain. Tell us to tear each other down for your temporary gain. You speak the language of the people with the motives of the state. Asleep, a cell of selfishness designed to make us hate. But the body's getting stronger, the fever's starting to break. We can finally see the difference between what's real and what's fake. Like, my, the agenda's getting bold. Why? People have been sold. Jig is up. You're the poison, the cancer, and the cold. You don't fight for the cause. You just lighten the load for the soul. Yeah, the conscience, see the fraud. Bye. Your whole damn act's a fraud. But the antidote is unity, the cure is in the roots. It's the knowledge of the elders and the fire in the boots of a generation rising that refuses to be bought. Recalling all the lessons that our ancestors taught. We cleanse the foundation,
Rebuild the immune to make the collective a garden where the real seeds can bloom. You can't poison a forest that shares a single source. We are the uprising, the unstoppable force. This is a conscious rebellion, a surgical strike to separate the healthy cells from the ones you're alike. This is more than a track, it's a call to the core, to protect the foundation of what we're fighting for. So let them have the clout, let them have the fake fame, while we reclaim the power that's attached to our name. Every word is a brick, every verse is a wall, to protect the community and watch the poisoners fall. So let the record show a community divided is a target, a community infected is a tragedy, but a community united is a revolution. And the golden rule: protect the people. Protect the people, people. Protect the people. Protect the people, 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 people. The people blesses. They thought I was finished. I just checked the schedule, I got plenty of. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today, crossing them out. Yeah, I'm finding a way. Look at the digital, look at the gold. I'm on the move and I'm breaking the mold. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Golden queen back, yeah, I'm here to stay. Check the calendar, every day is a payday. I'm the hurricane, you just a light spray. I'm the one they study, I'm the blueprint and master. You moving in slow-mo, I'm 10 times faster. I got time to address every tweet, every comment. I'm the main event, you just a small installment. 7 figures later and the crown still fits. I'm the only one doing and running the hits. Back to the time checks me. I'm the definition of what you wanna be. Staying in my lane, I don't do the traffic. I just make the call and it's systematic. Red pin now, nah, marking them off the list. Golden queen magic, yeah. Look at the flick of the wrist. I got time for the real, no time for the fake. I'm taking the whole cake, not just a step. Yeah. Yeah, they thought I was finished. I just checked the schedule, I got plenty of. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today, crossing them out. Yeah, I'm finding a way. Look at the digital, look at the gold. I'm on the move and I'm breaking the mold. I just looked at my wrist, I got time today. Golden queen back, yeah, I'm here to stay. Check the calendar, every day is a payday. I'm the hurricane, you just a light spray. I'm the one they study, I'm the blueprint, the master. You moving in slow-mo, I'm 10 times faster. I got time to address every tweet, every comment. I'm the main event, you just a small installment. 7 figures later and the crown still fits. I'm the only one doing and running the hits. Back to the time checks me. I'm a definition of what you wanna be. Staying in my lane, I don't do the traffic. I just make the call and it's systematic. Red pen now, marking them off the list. Golden queen magic, yeah. Look at the flick of the wrist. I got time for the real, no time for the fake. I'm taking a whole cake, not just a steak. Yeah. You thought you were safe? Yeah. You thought you were safe or good. Everybody looking for a home, looking for a click, looking for a place where the realness sticks. We out here building, trying to be free, but you just here to use them plain to see. I see you a user, a culture vulture, a leech, acting like you love the speech just so you can preach. You see the glow, you wanna get near it. You hear the soul, you try to engineer it. Wanna be in the circle, get the benefits, but you ain't put the work in. You just counterfeit. You a political operative, smiling in their face, just a snake in the grass, trying to take their place. We out here searching for a tribe, trying to be free, trying to live our best life, but the snakes stay closed, wearing a disguise. Now you got mad, showed your true self, no surprise. You been pop, dumb bitches, read your rights. You been pop, dumb bitches, read your rights. Yeah. It's the activist in me that's gotta speak the truth. I'm allergic to the fake, been like this is my youth. See them in the comments, singing all the praise. Go sis, go, while they plotting in the haze. Plotting on a downfall, plotting on a spot. Thinking they can use a light to get what they ain't got. But you can't use a mirror, you can't use a queen. Your whole entire persona is a fucked up scene. You a resource sucker, energy drain. They bring the clouds, we just trying to bring the rain. But we see you, yeah, we see you. Your little mask is cracked and now you corner about to see how you
looking for a tribe, trying to be free, trying to live our best life. But the snakes stay close, wearing a disguise. Now you got mad, showed your true self, no surprise. You've been popped down, bitch, read your rights. You've been popped down, bitch, read your rights. These people don't care about your life or your struggle. They just wanna break you down and make your hustle tumble. Now we see the true colors at the core of these people. Their whole foundation is evil. We at war and we question these people. Golden has love for her people, and I've been trying to warn people. This is the ugly truth of the world.
Watching all the snakes uncurl. Here's the revelation, the part you should've known. A person's real character is when they ain't get shown. You got pressed, you got mad. And all that fake ass love you had turned to poison. Jealousy and spite, they hate cause you that bitch and shining too bright. You ain't no friend, you just a hater in disguise. Walk past, head high, don't look them in the eyes. So here's the diss, you lost, you're done. Your fake support is over, your little game is run. You pop yourself, bitch, we ain't have to do a thing. Just sat back and watch you pull your own damn string. You been popped, you can't infiltrate this. Your mask is on the floor, go pick up your shit. We out, we out. You kid, yeah.
War crimes. Just in case you think Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth are not committing war crimes, just look at their behavior. So this report just came out from Reuters, and it says President Trump's administration wants the ICC, which is the International Criminal Court, to amend its founding document to ensure it does not investigate the Republican president and his top officials, threatening new U.S. sanctions on the court if it did not. So I've gone into the bowels of this article, and basically this guy, it's so legal, you know, we did everything right. They know that in 2029, all these fuckers are going to get.
I have to tell you something that you do all the time.
What?
Instead of saying 2029, you did another episode too. It's really cute. Kylie, don't cut this out. You say 2000 and 2029. Every time you announce a year, you do 2000 and 2024 or 2000 and 2029. It's really cute. All right, go on.
Sorry, lion and tiger.
It cracks me up. Every time you do it, I start dying laughing. Okay, go on, go on.
Okay, so basically, they know they're committing war crimes. And instead of being held accountable, which we know this president is allergic to, he wants to change the rules at the ICC, threatening them with sanctions, because he knows what he's doing are crimes. And I'm just like, you elect a criminal, this is what you expect. But it's pretty denounced if he's going after the ICC, because he knows they're going to come after him in 2029.
Oh, you nailed it. Okay, you nailed it. All right, I have some questions for you. So the ICC is the court that has an arrest warrant out for Benjamin Netanyahu's arrest, correct?
Correct.
And I would think that this Trumpian tactic, the shakedown that he's trying to do with the ICC, I would think that that would not work, considering they've held the line with the arrest warrant with Benjamin Netanyahu. And I would think that that would be even more of a red flag, that we've really got to investigate this MFer, because he's totally committing crimes.
I completely agree, 100%. And here's the thing. There's an excerpt from the article, Kylie, if you'll just put that up, where it says, this is unacceptable and we will not allow it to happen. That's from an ICC quote. And here's the deal. I thought this was interesting. In the article, it says, they are afraid in 2029, the ICC will turn its attention to the president, to the vice president, to the Secretary of War and others, which I was like, you know, JD, he did get on X and say he didn't give a shit. He was happy for them to be killed. So
All right, y'all. So I just gonna go ahead and take a little quick, pause in just to make a little bit of commentary or whatnot. But I wanted to give y'all some information about what I'm playing. I know I did this like extremely after the song, and I didn't, give you an introduction as to what it is I'm playing. But this is I Hip News, right? I love this channel. This is a really great channel, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna put the information for this channel in my description box. So if y'all want to go and check them out, and listen to them. I love these women. Like they are hilarious to me. And they are raw. They keep it real. They're like me. Very much so. And so, I really like listening to their content. I just started watching their channel not too long ago. But yeah, they give you the real when it comes down, especially to what's going on with this politics. And they do not hold their tongue shut. I love it. They're really great. But anyway, so yeah, we've moved on, from the initial conversation that we was having. This ties into a little bit of that in some type of way, but it's more so like we got to talk about all of these things in like totality or whatnot. So basically, as we have seen, we're talking about freedom of speech being taken away. We're talking about people being unrightfully attacked as if they are immigrants or people that don't belong in this country. And there are some individuals that may need to go because they're causing chaos and things like that. Maybe they ain't got their papers or they things in order. But a lot of these people that are getting ran down on, honestly, to be quite honest, they are citizens of this country and they don't deserve that. And then when we're tapping into this video and this commentary right now, over here with I've Had It, I love that. I've Had It. I love that. I love this channel. As we tapping into some of this energy and, we're hearing what they're talking about these war crimes, right? Because this is a serious conversation that needs to be talked about as well. There are war crimes happening, a lot of things are happening. I don't know if people are watching. I don't know if people watch the news anymore. Even though we talked about earlier, you can't really depend on the news anymore, right? Because they're not going to tell you everything in the real as to what's going down. But we do have YouTube. So with YouTube, there's content creators and people bringing the real to you at all times. You just got to go out there and find them and connect with those channels or whatnot and keep up with those channels. And, sometimes you can actually get the real as to what's really going on. But yes, there are war crimes being committed. Okay, people are being unjustly attacked. And they will be talking about some of this in, more, let's just say, political detail than what I can give it to y'all as. Y'all know. I watch and I follow these things, but they lay it out very well. Y'all already know, or maybe you don't. There was the strikes that they put out there on twice, two accounts. The first account, which they said was towards individuals that were drug smugglers, right? Smuggling drugs into the country. And then they attacked them and they struck them the first time. And then there were people that survived the first strike that was fighting for their life and trying to survive. And then they struck them a second time to take them out and they didn't care. They said, yo, by any means necessary, take them out. That's what they wanted to do. Is that what they feel? Like, take them out. That's how they feel. And so, when we're talking about these type of things, these are things that are be considered war crimes, right? And as these things are happening and these attacks are being, I believe, wielded towards other individuals from other countries. Okay, there can be a very high possibility of retaliation, right? Like, you hit me, I hit you back. So these are things that we need to be keeping our eyes and our ears open for when it comes to us living in a country and under leadership that desires to do these things just, because they feel like it. There are things that can happen as a consequence when you do those type of things. You hit somebody, they may decide to hit you back. And guess what? They may just hit harder. And that's even street knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all. we can make these things very simple for us to understand what is really going on and how these things really operate and they work, you know? Okay? I don't know if anybody else out there agree or they understand or they know what that's like. Yeah, you hit somebody and they might decide they want to hit you back. And if they hit you back, they may hit you back harder. And what does that do? When you have leadership, that's the one calling and starting the fights. And then you see that you're about to get retaliated against. Who gets hurt and harmed depending on what type of strikes and hits that people may give back. When you mistreat or you know what I'm saying, you go out of your way to hurt them. You know, this can be a big major effect for our country. This is why we're saying that we are dealing, and I believe we are having world war and civil war at the same daggone time. And guess who I remember said that that's what we would have if Trump got into office? Cornel West. Sure did. He sure did call it. And that is exactly what I think we're, dealing with right now. We're dealing with world war and civil war all at the same time, and it's not good for anybody, any people. It doesn't matter whether you're in the services, whether you're a military, whether you're just a regular person living your life and trying to go to work, whether you are a person who might have been an immigrant but have got your papers in order and things of that nature and you're now a citizen here, or maybe you're here and you just haven't got it together yet. You still got to get your stuff together. Like, there's so many people that can be affected. What is this? Anybody and everybody, all groups of people, all types of individuals, right? That could be attacked, that could be discriminated against. We're seeing a lot of that play out, like in such a large way. And I have to, y'all hear me staggering, right? I'm staggering because of what I talked about earlier in the live. There's certain things that you get on these platforms, you get on this channel and this internet that they don't want you to say. You can't say it a certain type of way. You can't tell it how for what it really is and what it is. You know what I mean? Like, what can you do? You got to speak in Ebonics. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we're dealing with. And I like to bring this type of information to the forefront. But let's play a little bit more of this live, y'all. We're moving towards the 2-hour mark. After, once we get to the 2-hour mark, we got to finish. I cannot play this whole thing. It is a very long live. No, wait, no. Oh, this is the clip. No, it's not long. We can get through this whole thing. Okay. All right, let me just shut up and play some more of this. And let them tell it, because I love them. They are cute. I love them. This pair right here, they are great partners. They have a great platform over there on the channel. These are the type of things that I desire and wish to do, to have a channel like this, a podcast, and a platform like this with someone I can sit here and talk with, and we just shoot the dozens and keep it real and talk about the things that need to be talked about. I love this. I love this. I love this whole setup of this channel. But anyway, let's get back to it, y'all. I'm going to let them continue to talk, and then we'll get up out of here shortly.
But obviously he's in it more, because this is Trump's administration doing this. Here's my problem with the ICC. They don't have any enforcement power. So they can't go to people like the United States that host Benjamin Netanyahu, and they cannot arrest him, or they cannot put sanctions on the United States for not arresting him, which tells me, again, they're so worried about it when there's really no enforcement from the ICC, but they know it's going to happen. And there's nothing that can really happen to him on that issue. So what that tells me is it must be really, really bad what they're doing, because I don't think for 1 second it's just the boats in the Caribbean, the crimes they're committing, whether they're war crimes or not. But I would guess there are more crimes than you can shake a stick at with this group.
Well, and I read, and we need to dive into this in another episode, but that there are still people at Alligator Alcatraz and they're getting tortured.
Yeah.
So there is just so many war crimes, egregious human rights violations that this administration is participating in. And again, the lack of outrage on a lot of this stuff by Republicans is stunning. And I think we have to consistently and constantly point out the Republican Party has turned into a mafia party, a pro-crime party, and its supporters that still stand by it in Congress and in the Senate. I'm talking about the leader of the Senate. I'm talking about the little pipsqueak leader of the House. By proxy, they're criminals as well. And, you know, these are not people who are holding this administration. They like to murder and torture people for sport.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth is insecure. He's emotionally stunted, and he thinks it's fun to play Army. And he has people blowing up and killing people in the Caribbean with zero evidence as to who they are, what their names are, what they're doing there. We're the fucking United States of America. If you shoot somebody,
This bra is for seniors who want to get back their
Y'all hear how she talk? She talk like me, for real. It's just like, I love it.
we have the intelligence, and God knows the budget to know exactly who it is. They found Osama bin Laden and went in and killed him and brought his body back. This is to make Pete Hegseth and others surrounding Pete Hegseth that have a problem with their masculinity, and they don't want anybody to know that they have the problem. But spoiler alert, we all know you have a problem with your masculinity. And all of these things are just so sociopathic. And so I think with the ICC, this is my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the United States could have arrested Benjamin Netanyahu when he came here.
Yes.
And then turned him over. Right. And which is why when Benjamin Netanyahu flew to the United States, he had to fly around Europe because he couldn't be in the airspace of Europe, like Spain and places like that. And so for Trump, I'm sure he doesn't, and these others, they want to be able to, once they get out, they probably want to jump ship on the United States of America, and they want to go somewhere. And then if the ICC, because Trump's got immunity, he's going to pardon all these flea bags, and that's going to be an accountability thing. You know, if they want to go to Europe or someplace, they could get arrested by the ICC. So that's what I think that's about.
Here's another thing though, that is, I really want to like kind of dive into a little bit, is that they put all this cruel shit on the social media platforms of the official agencies. Like, we are seeing Pete Hegseth post pictures of him, obviously edited because we're not getting the second shot, that of murdering people. Do you think that's part of the decline and why people aren't as outraged? Because it's been normalized? Because it is not normal to post videos of murdering people, whether they're drug dealers or whatever their deal is. Let's assume they're guilty of sin. It is not normal. In normal societies, we should not want public hangings like we have from this MAGAverse. I mean, I think they're trying to normalize this, and I think that people are allowing it.
She hit the nail on the head with those comments that she made there, because these are things that I talk about on a regular basis, that I talk about with my mother, I talk about with my boyfriend, whatever. And we talk about this. I have to be careful how I talk. But we talk about, like, literally what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling, I'm thinking, is that they do want to normalize. They do want to normalize this type of violence, you know, this type of hatred. All of these things that are happening, there is a sense of desensitization that they are trying to bring forth when it comes to multiple things, right? Some of the other things, that's another live for another day. But they want to desensitize you, and they want to normalize these things So you feel like it is okay. This is what the country does. Oh, this is what the government does. No, it is not. And it shouldn't be. Because when it comes to us and our human rights and our humanity, we have to understand as humans, these things are not right. Okay? I don't, and that's the thing, like when it comes to me, the problem that I face and I have is that I don't care. Even if the government tell me, oh yeah, this is right, this is what's supposed to be done, this is how it goes, I don't agree. I don't agree, and I don't think it's right. And I will not succumb to it. I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I wish more of us could be like that, to be more rebellious and just fight back and just believe, like, you do not have to just take these people's word for it because they say, oh, this is how it goes, this is what we do, this is how it's rocking. No, it's not rocking like that. It shouldn't. And if it does, guess what? We not participating in it. We don't want no parts of it. You know what I mean? We're not doing that because it's not right. You see what I'm saying? And so I am, and others too, are individuals, especially on this podcast right here with these two women. They speak up and they say it like it is. No, we're not doing that. You're not going to force us and control us or convince us that these things are right. We're not doing that. It's not right. It's not humane, and it doesn't need to be done. We don't need to be treating each other like this. We don't need to be sitting and standing by watching our countries warring against each other this way because our leadership don't know what the hell they doing, and they evil and nasty. But when I talk like this, y'all, and I say things like this, I'm in trouble. I'm always in jail. I don't believe in none of these things. And I'm just not going to sit by and be quiet and eat it up. Like, I believe that what I see happening is right and it should be happening. I'm going to talk against it. And I'm going to fight against it in any way that I can. Because I don't want to see us live in a world that looks like this. I don't want to see us live in a country that operates like this. I don't want to see it. I don't want to engage in any of it. So I will fight and I will speak and I will whatever. Do what you're going to do to me. Whatever. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it. And I have a mouth and a voice, and I should have the freedom of the amendments based off of our law that's in place to speak and say the things that I want to say. Especially when it comes to things that need to be said. But then I'm crazy if I talk like this, right? Passion is crazy. Activism is crazy. I can't do it, but other people can do it. So we ain't gonna talk about that. That's another conversation for another day. Because we sitting here watching, right? Well, then there's that. I'm telling you for real, what I know to be true. We are in deep shit, in trouble. And people, honestly, we have got to stand up. We got to speak up. And we got to fight back against this stuff. This is not what we want. This is not what we want. This is not how we want to live. I don't want to. I don't know what anybody else wants. I don't want to. I don't want my mama to have to live like this. I don't want my son to have to live like this. I don't want people that I love and care about to have to live like this. This is not right. What is happening in the United States, in our country right now, not right. But again, right? Because I say this all the time. And y'all know I mean it from the bottom of my soul. I get that for a very long period of time, we was doing okay, I guess. We was doing all right, in this country or whatnot. And there were other countries that were struggling and going through a lot of worse things than what we're experiencing right now in our country. I must be fair and honest about that. And I hate that too. I wish that at that time maybe I had more of a voice or more of an understanding of how these things go. So I could bring a lot of that to the light, what was happening and what is still happening. I can still talk about what's still happening because a lot of it hasn't stopped, you know. And so it's like, you know, it's not woe is me energy. You know, it's not. It's like, yeah, we going through right now. We're going through hell and high water right now. But think about all of the other countries and the other people that's going through hell and high water for a very, very long period. And nobody wanted to talk about that or bring that, you know, information to the forefront to see if some type of change could happen or come, you know. And at that time, I wasn't in that space or this space where I'm at, where I speak about things, you know, openly or whatnot on a platform. But I will do it. I'll do it now. I'll do it now because I see it now. I'm learning it now. I understand it now. I watch it. I don't think it's right. And I want to stand up for what's right. Not just for myself and my people in the country that I live in, but worldwide. A lot of shit is going on. And it's got to stop. And I believe we have the power to stop it. I do. Outside of just talking about it. But even if you can only just talk about it, that's something. That's doing something rather than nothing. And then the next thing we do is we take action. This has got to end. I don't like it. I don't like how we living as a people. I don't like how we treat each other. I don't like how we're being treated. I don't like how things move and operate. I don't like any of these things. And we can change. We got the power to change. And I'm so happy to see a lot of the time when I watch content and people are taken to the street, they're protesting peacefully. They ain't tearing nothing up. But they're making their voices be heard and they're making their existence be known. We're not going to do this. We're not going to take it. We don't believe in this. We don't accept it. We don't want it. You know? I like that energy. And I think if we have more of it, maybe we can make a difference. Maybe we can. Maybe we can turn this stuff around. And it's not just for the sake of the United States, because that just happened to be the country I reside in. It's for the sake of the world. We have to do this as a collective everywhere so we can see a change in the things that we're suffering from and going through wherever it is we reside. We have to fight back. But if I say things like that, I get into trouble. Can't say things like that, right? now I'm the bad guy. Okay. You know, like, this is what we're dealing with. Do we not have the right to be able to speak about the suffering and the things that we are experiencing that is making things difficult and hard for us as a people that reside wherever it is we reside? We can't talk about it. We got to be quiet. We got to keep it a secret. It's not supposed to be that way. You should be able to talk about the things that are happening and affecting your life and where you reside. You should be able to talk about that openly and freely. They don't want you to. You do, you get in trouble. Oh, it's a violation, this, that, whatever. What? Y'all tell me if I sound crazy. Let's keep going. I'm going to let them talk because they do it better than I do it. Let them keep talking.
Some of this stuff, if we're really intellectually honest, we have to look at American foreign policy under both Republicans and Democrats. And Obama was a drone strike president and killed innocent civilians with drone strikes. And I think each time we morally collapse on these things under both Republicans and Democrats, we lied to get into Iraq. Mm-hmm. It breaks part of the culture. And it becomes the lines in the sand get moved and moved and moved. And to really place the blame of all of this squarely on the Republicans is intellectually dishonest.
Right.
there has been a pattern of provocative and dishonest American foreign policy for a very long time. Vietnam, Iraq, etc., Operation, Desert Storm, and all of that. The regime changes that we participated in, and that is injected into the culture. American military shit like that is really injected into the culture, blowing shit up, doing stuff, and both parties have been.
I like this type of conversation because it's real and it's raw and it's honest. However, let's take it back a little bit further. Let's be a little bit more real. Let's talk about, because I'm telling you, for real, all of this, yeah, we getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We're making progress. Because if they able to talk about that and say it that way, which I like these people, I'm telling you, I like their podcast. I do. I like that. It's all. But if we able to have that type of conversation, let's keep going back. I don't think we're going back far enough, honestly, right? Because if we really want to dig our toes into the real history of this country and how it came to form, let's talk about it. Y'all want to talk about that? Huh? Can we have that conversation? Like, how far back do we decide to go? For me, I've learned when you're trying to solve a problem or you're trying to get to the root of the issue, you got to go to the roots. So let's go to the roots when it comes to this country. When we talking about the United States country, the one that I reside in, right? Let's talk about how this country was developed and founded. Huh? Let's talk about the principles that started out to found and construct this country. Huh? Let's talk about that. Go back and do the real work, the real reading, and find out the real history of how this country started. Because I'm telling you right now, if you really know the truth about it, you would not be surprised about a lot of things we see happening right now. You would say deja vu. Deja MFing vu. Yes, I said it. Because that's what it is. A lot of things is going on right now and playing out right now. This is the precedence of it. This is where it started. This is where it began. This is how it was then. This is how they wanted it to be. And then, as time moved along, and people who had courage stood up and fought, things started to change. And now they want things to go back to the way they were. Because we ain't got enough people standing up and trying to fight to keep things the way they are and keep pushing us forward. March. They're giving up. They're laying down. They're taking the money. They're selling out. We have to fight. It's always going to be a fight. It's always been a fight. It never changes. People just stop wanting to fight because they start getting money. Let's be real about what it really is, for real. I don't have time to play these games and live in oblivion. I don't. We have to be real about what this is and why it's this way. Who's fighting? Who's fighting back? Any groups, any organizations, and any squads, anybody out there care? Or you just lay down and you take it for a check? Half of y'all sitting around waiting for the damn next check that Trump about to sign and send out. The sellout check, just like the stimmy check. That's what you're waiting for. Fighting back is what we need to do. Standing tall, having integrity, having dignity, believing in a cause. We're not doing that. Too comfortable to do it. Our ancestors did it because they didn't live in comfort. We live in comfort, which buys us the luxury to not care or not fight or not stand up. Am I making any sense here? The only way you combat this type of stuff is fighting back. And I'm not talking about violence. yet, because sometimes you may need that. If you're spiritual, you know sometimes you gotta fight, and wars will rage. But anyway, I'm talking about standing up, actually giving a damn. People don't care. A lot of people don't care because things are not affecting them. It's not in your neighborhood. It's not in your house. It's not affecting your life and how you moving, how you operating, what you doing. You don't care. Your neighbor might be getting drugged out their house, thrown down to the ground, stepped on and stomped on, but it ain't you, so you don't care. Talk about that. Talk about that. Be real about that. Huh? When we going to be real about this? Ma? Would you like to chime in? Because we talk about this type of stuff all the time. We do. It's honest work. Honest work. That's another one. Right there. We're going to use that one too. People don't care. If it ain't affecting you, don't nobody care. That's the problem. We have to care more about others. Isn't that what they try to teach you? They tell you to teach your kids in school and stuff like that when they're young and small. And they in kindergarten and stuff like that. But I guess as we get older and we grow up and we move along in life, we forget that. We forget those principles. You're supposed to care for others, share with others. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that type of stuff. Somewhere along the line, we forgot. We don't do that no more. Once we get ours, we good. And on that next live on, dude, we'll talk about that, as well. But that's a whole nother topic. But there is a point to be made in that topic as well, because that's literally what it's about. Once you got yours, you don't care about everybody else. We don't care about each other. We don't. I'm eating a snack. I gotta end this live because it's about 2 hours now. This is a very great live right here that I had on the panel, y'all. I will go ahead and say y'all again what the name of this channel is, and again the link in the title to this live will be in my description box. But this is the I've Had It podcast. And they're reporting on news as far as Trump panics over being charged with war crimes. The ICC is coming for him. I wanted to really finish this up. You know what? Forget it. Let's do it. We're going to finish it. That's okay. If we don't have to stop right at the 2 hour mark. Let's finish this conversation. I'll be quiet. And I'm going to let them finish. Because it's a conversation that needs to be heard and had. So let's go ahead and finish this live. It's not that long. I think we got maybe 5-6 more minutes, right? And then after that, we'll end the live. I'll give my final thoughts and we'll end it. But y'all please check them out. Great podcast, great YouTube channel. And I like their energy for it. They got the same type of energy that I got.
Been a part of this, and I don't think we've been honest about it, and I don't think we've atoned for it. And even somebody as beloved as Barack Obama or Bill Clinton in the Democratic Party participated in setting the psychological soil for this to happen. So as shocking as it is, it's not new for American military to do that. And we really have to be honest about that and have these uncomfortable conversations about it.
Yeah, you're right. It's just more normalized now. We put people in shackles for sport. We think it's fun. Other people think it's fun.
Look at Abu Ghraib in Iraq and the black sites. I mean, it's not new. It's not new. That's the thing. That's the intellectual honesty we have to have with this. Look at what the Bush administration did. Were there ever any trials or anything for all of that? No, with this waterboarding, advanced interrogations, and all of these things, this is just a natural extension of a immoral foreign policy that we go around the world very sanctimoniously as though we don't do these things. And the truth of the matter is, we've kind of always done them. They're just a little slightly more flagrant.
Sorry, I had to take another pause. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, this is why I do like, I love the podcast. I love listening to them. So, we have always done these things, right? And yes, I'm a black girl, whatever, that live in the United States. Okay. But what I'm saying is, if we're going to keep it real and 100, when it comes to how this country was formulated, how this country was built, the things that happened, the things that they did,
Barbaric.
right? Very barbaric.
Barbaric.
Very barbaric. Okay? But a lot of us is just too young to know, because we wasn't alive back during that time. And what happens, right? What we talking about, what we fighting against, is the fact that when our children, any youth that's growing up, go to any type of establishment where they're supposed to learn about the history, what do they do to that history?
They twist it. And
They
turn
twist
all
it.
around.
They lie about it.
And
They
so
remove it.
your generation
We don't know.
Don't get to really
The
know
youth
the
don't
truth
know.
because they've already redacted
Right.
and turned things
Twist
around.
it up,
So you
teach
never
it to
got
you in a
the
different
real
way that it really wasn't, or take it away from you altogether so you don't even have it. Period. That's what it is.
You came out of history when you were in school. You came out of history believing in the red, white, and blue. That was
And
the
let me
end
say-
of the whole lesson.
Because you know, child, people, they may be upset with it. No, listen, they may be upset with this comment, but I want to tell it to them right here straight like this. I don't care, right? I say it the way I say it, in the style that I say it, in the shade that I say it. But I'm sitting up here playing a video and an audio of, maybe that's more feasible for your palate. And I'm saying, I like these women. I love them. You know, I support them. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about certain individuals that just don't want to listen to the truth sometimes if it's coming from a certain aspect or aesthetic. Yeah, I'm black. Yeah, I'm ghetto. Yeah, I'm young. Yeah, I'm from the hood. But I'm telling you what y'all know to be true. And what did she just sit up here and say? She just said, this is nothing new.
It's nothing new.
This is nothing new. She said that. Will you believe it when she says it? Or are you going to believe it when I say it? Pick one. Because we both saying it. Maybe in our different ways, in our different styles. We saying the same truth, ain't we?
And if I
Pick
could,
your flavor.
If I could add a note.
Yeah.
If we look back in our Bibles, that same barbarism.
Oh, yeah.
That barbaric stuff was there.
Yeah. It's in the Bible.
In the beginning.
It is
was
in the
there.
Bible. All of it's in the Bible.
The
It
lion
really is.
pits.
Oh, lion pit.
The entertainment.
Yeah.
The pain to come see somebody. Seeing all the
fatalities, watching an atrocity
Yes.
or fatality for
So,
entertainment.
even
Yeah.
in the very beginning, it was
Right. Remember, we talk about this on the other lot of gladiators.
gladiators.
Yes.
Come on, barbarous.
Okay. That's barbaric.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Okay. So what has really changed? What has really changed? It looked a little different until they wanted to go back to the raw. At first, they put a mask and a cover over it. So it was the same, but you didn't know it was the same because they put a mask and a cover over it. That's what we've been watching and bearing witness to and participating in and being entertained by. But now we get to a place where they don't want to put the mask and the cover on it no more. They want you to see it for what it really is, raw. How it used to be. That's what it's going back to.
Yeah, I remember the
Pass the peas like we used to do.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? Like going back to how we used to do.
Yeah, the face covering.
Not me, but how they used to do. I
How
didn't
they
used to
used
do.
to hide behind things.
You
and
see
the
what I'm
face
saying?
coverings.
They hid it. They hid it. For many years now, they hid it. It's been the same constantly. But you couldn't see it. Because they put a mask over it. Now, they saying, hey,
it's out in the open.
When we taking the mask off, we going back to how we used to do.
It's out in the
Pass the peas like we used to do. You know what I'm saying? They want to pass the peas like they used to do. And this is what we're seeing play out. They're passing the peas like they used to do. and it's going back to how it used to be.
Well, let's put it this way. I like to say that they have a plan, but their plan will never jack what God has.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And I will say that to the day I die. Yeah. I will not be embarrassed to say what I'm not embarrassed either. I've said what I've said. They have a plan, but it's not God's plan. But they have a plan. Yeah,
there's a plan. There is a plan. There is definitely a plan. And and so that's what I'm saying. It's just like, sometimes, when it comes to certain things, it's like, don't focus so much on the messenger. Focus on the message. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because this is, how I come across and how I talk and how I might present my content, stuff like that. People may not rock with it. But then we have these lovely ladies right here. These lovely ladies right here. They saying the same thing that I've been saying, that I say all the time.
And they say it right off the cuff.
It ain't no different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're looking at. When we're paying attention to this stuff that is happening. It's nothing new.
Not with all the bells and ribbons.
It's nothing new.
We're tired of the bells and the
ribbons. Run it back real quick. Let us say it again.
Around the world very sanctimoniously, as though we don't do these things. And the truth of the matter is we've kind of always done them. They're just a little slightly more flagrant about it is all. But
thank you, babe.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Right? Mm-hmm. And if we do know our true history, because they're taking that, the ones of us that were able to get a portion of it, we're lucky. Look at our children. They're not going to have any real history. Classes or books.
If our culture and our families fill in the pages, they will have it.
That's up to us. That is up to us. We have to do that. We have to fill them in on the truth in the history and all of those things, right? Yeah. Now we got to step up and do it because the schools ain't going to do it. No. The education is not going to do it for them. They're going to come up just lost in the brain, insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. You know what I mean? No, they ain't going to know
take your own personal responsibility and teach that to your children in their home.
That's our responsibility for real. We have to do it.
Community groups or however you do it.
However,
you're going to have to teach them.
However you teach it, however you get across, you got to do it because the truth is at the core. Mm-hmm. And this is what we're saying. I'm not the only. I was so pleased. When I watched this video, because I didn't watch it today, I watched this multiple days ago. Mm-hmm. I was so pleased. I said, oh my God, she gets it too.
Yeah.
We're seeing it the same. We are seeing it the same.
Yeah.
This ain't nothing new.
They get it.
It's different. Yeah. You see what she said? It just looks different. It's presented different.
That's all.
This ain't nothing new. It's been going on. Mm-hmm. And now, child, they want to get raw with it. They want to take the condom off. Excuse me. Anyway, you know how I talk. I'm funny like that. But that's what I'm saying. They want to go raw. They want to go raw dog with it. They want to take it back to how it used to be raw dog. How we been living, what? We had some protection, right? We had a rubber on. Yeah. Now they want to take the rubber off. They want to take it back to how it used to be. I'm telling you for real, yes, it's raw, but I'm telling you for real. That's how I talk. That's it. To get you to understand, to get people to understand, like break it down sometime, like to the simplistic state. Mm-hmm. Because you start speaking all these big words and terminologies and things, and then some people are like, oh God, this is, make analogies and stuff like that. That's what I do. So we can get it, you know what I mean? Like understand what it is, like how it really works. Like they want to take it back to how it used to be. What I say? Pass the peas like we used to do. You know, they want going back and pass the peas. You know what I mean? So this is what we're dealing with when it comes to a lot of these things. And so, I don't know. I talk about it. I talk about the politics. I report on the politics, and I just keep it real and raw with it when I do. But like I was talking about earlier in my live, they want to take our amendments away. Now, when did they start creating amendments and constitution?
Amendment was already done.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That was done long long ago. And now y'all want to go back and y'all want to shuffle around with it and change it up and switch it up and act like y'all ain't the ones that wrote it up. Y'all wrote it up. Y'all wrote that. Now y'all want to go back and change that because you just don't like how it panned out. Right? So now you want to change things, right? Like the Constitution, like the amendments, all of those type of things. Right now you want to go back and twist it around, shuffle it around. That's what they're doing. It's your laws. Y'all made them. We didn't make them. Y'all made them. And now y'all want to change them because, oh, it's not panning out so well for you because we learned how to use those laws against you. And we also are able to take partnership in those said laws and have protection under those said laws. You don't like that.
We educated ourselves.
You don't like that. So how far are we going back here? How far y'all want to go back? Because remember, it was a time where, could this be a conversation or a live for another day?
Maybe so.
But remember, there was a time where when it came to all these laws, amendments, Constitution, rights, there was a select race and group of people that they didn't have access to it, did they?
Weren't educated on that.
Because it wasn't made for them. So what is the problem?
We're told it had nothing to do with them.
So now, because we benefit from it, and now we got to go back. Right. So there's a place and a time where we no longer benefit from it. Because y'all tired of seeing us benefit from it. Is we going to keep it real here, or is we not going to keep it real? Huh? What do it look like to you when you see it play out? Don't it look like they want to go back in history?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
But in order to know that you're going backwards in history, you got to kind of know your history, right?
At least to the negative portion of history.
Of course that. Negative. But I'm saying for people who are not seeing this for what it really is.
I don't even know. Matter of fact, after looking at the screen, I see two women. I don't even know if women realize what they're trying to take just women back to.
Well, they're trying to take us back to.
Okay.
Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
They was trying to warn us.
They're trying to take us back. Women, period. Trying to take
well, I'll tell you them. I can't go back to nowhere I ain't never been. So there's that for me. Okay. And I hope that other youth understand and other generation believe and feel that same way too. You can't let nobody take you back to nothing that you ain't never been through. And half of our ancestors have been through this stuff. They're not with us no more. So what are we talking about? We're not about to start it all over again. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're not starting it all over again. We'll bounce back to start. This ain't sorry. This is not a board game. No, we're not doing that. So, absolutely not. But we have to speak up. We have to fight back.
Minorities
what?
Indigenous?
Who?
Indians? No.
Indigenous?
Yes.
Okay.
Trying to get out my mouth. I had my okay. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Indigenous.
But indigenous and the Native American, affecting all of us.
All of us, yeah.
All of us.
Yep. Simultaneously.
All of us.
Sure is. And we're not taking it. We're not taking it. And I'm so happy and pleased to see that there are people standing up, speaking up. This and we're not doing that.
Say the name because you get in trouble. You say the name of that group, but it's affecting them as well. Those that can read between the line will know exactly who I'm talking about.
Jewels.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to say that anymore.
I say jewels.
Yeah.
So they like diamonds, you know.
I mean, come on. You talk about.
Well, y'all know what I'm talking about.
You talk about the suffering of a people. Come on now.
Right.
Come on.
People. Humans. A race. That is the race. There's only one race, the human race. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All of us.
What are we arguing about? What are we doing here? What is all this division? Aren't we all human?
All of us are human.
Lord Jesus, I'm getting exhausted. I really am, but I won't stop fighting. I'll never stop fighting, and I'll never stop speaking up, and I'll never stop bringing these things to the forefront, having these conversations, and educating myself, and all of those things because we have to.
Yeah, we must.
We have to.
We must.
It's necessary.
We must.
We don't just lay down and take it.
We won't get past this.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not just going to lay down and take it. And in order to fight, you don't always need power or muscles. Sometimes you need education and information.
Follow his lead. That's all you need.
You got to put different types of tools in your toolbox to fight against this war. There will come a point in time where you need physical strength and attack. And then for majority of the time, it's mental. You need to know. You need to be educated. You need to be aware of what is going on. You got to prepare your toolbox properly for any fight that you come up against. And there will be fights. And we are going through them right now. We're seeing them. We're seeing them right now. You just don't lay down and take it.
And I think the last point I want to make is I asked myself this question. We know God protects all of us. But when we're down here in this dirty world, who is safe? Who is safe? You name me one person that's safe. Nobody's safe.
There's always a possibility for being unsafe. Yeah, that's. Let me let them continue real quick.
Administration. I mean, I was mad all the fucking time about all of those war crimes.
Yeah, when you just said waterboarding, it evokes such a visceral reaction because it is so cruel. So you're right. This is not new, but it's just interesting to me that the Trump administration is mad at the ICC because they know they're guilty as fuck of so many crimes. All right, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and we will be back with more news.
I really like them for her. Well, we have hit the 2-hour mark. I'm going to play a song on the end, on the way out, and I will be back on the next one for another live. There's more stuff to talk about. And yes, sometimes it may have to be real and raw. You know, I talk how I talk. I believe what I believe. I don't hate anyone, right? I ain't got nothing against anyone or any group of people. Some things just have to be talked about. Sometimes we got to talk about the hard topics, you know, and be real about it.
Hard
topic. It's hard to talk about.
They are hard.
People don't want to talk about it. But sometimes we have to. We do, because it's important. It's important, you know. So.
And it's in our face. It's here.
It's right in our face now.
It's here.
I mean, more than any of our generations have ever experienced it. Now, our ancestors, they're no longer with us. They've probably seen how a lot of this stuff go. And you know what I mean? We lived very subtly for a period of time where we didn't experience these type of things to this type of, right? We was very safe. We was very covered. But now, we're not safe. We're not covered. It's raw, and it's real, and it's in our face. And we got to talk about it. We got to deal with it. We got to handle it. We got to go up against it. That's me. That's my energy. That's how I do. That's how I move. That's how I operate. I'm not scared. We can't be scared yet. We got to talk about these things. We got to move. We got to move and make action. And one of the things that I know we definitely got to do, excuse me for getting loud and passionate, but if we got a heavy, severe war like this brewing, that's already started, that we're in, whether we like it or not.
Gotta pray.
The last thing we pray, of course, pray. But the last thing that we need to do is turn against each other. Because the only way we fight against a war like this
if we stand together.
Is if we stand together. And that's all I can say when it comes to that. For real, I'm done with this live. I hope that we continue to I hope that we get it. I hope that we start to get that. I hope that we start to get that and understand it. that we have to work together. We have to stand together. We have to be a united front. Because the division, the abuse,
that's not going to work.
The evilness that we have out here in this world, with the things that we are seeing in our faces, straight up, straightforward, being divided is not going to help us. We're stronger in numbers.
Yep, we are.
That's where we're getting back to. We're going to have to team up.
Multitude.
Squad up. That's what they used to say in my hood. Squad up. Multitude. Yeah, we got to squad up. For real. Because if we don't, we ain't going to make it. We ain't going to survive it too good. Maybe we can pull through. Maybe individually or by yourself you can pull through. But the best way for us as a collective to make it and get past multitudes is in multitudes for us to connect with each other. And it ain't got nothing to do with race. It ain't got nothing to do with skin tone. I'm talking about us as a people. We got to stand together for what is right. Because at the core, when it comes down to it, all of our basic necessities and needs are the same as a human. And that is what we're fighting for, because that is what we are fighting against being taken from us. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got on that. I'm about to go ahead and play this end song right here. This is one of the songs that I made today. It's called Silence. Seems like there is a lot of things happening, that they're putting in place to try to keep us silent. And we know that when we're fighting or we're trying to have a conversation on how to fight against a major war, we got to be able to talk about it first, which means we have to talk. And our amendments say that we're supposed to have freedom of speech. And that is trying to be taken away from us each and every day in all different ways. And so this song alludes to that. And I know we've witnessed that in different places and spaces, especially here on this internet and these social media platforms. They try to silence you. We cannot be, and we will not be silenced. We must keep talking. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for joining the live. I really appreciate it. I will talk to y'all on the next one. I hope everybody has a good evening.
A blessed one.
And a blessed one. And until next time, we out, y'all. Bye.
On the bill is looking faded and frayed. The fourth estate is corporate owned and heavily paid. They're trading in the facts for a narrative fabricated. If you leak the truth, you get deleted and degraded. Look, the teleprompter's glowing with the scripted out deception. A digital infection to manipulate perception. They steer the conversation in a singular direction, while the First Amendment's dying with no hope of resurrection. It's a manufactured crisis, yeah, they're selling us the fear. Whispering the lies until it's all the people here. They call it fact-checking just to keep the vision blurry, while they bury every whistleblower in a frantic hurry. Silence in the streets, silence in the booth. A total moratorium on anyone with truth. They're tearing out the pages, yeah, they're burning down the fence. So war against the people and against our common sense. It's the sound of the silent. It's heavy and it's cold. It's the sound of the silent. It's heavy and it's cold. Independent outlets, yeah, they're catching all the heat. The ones who skip the press release and actually hit the beat. But the algorithms weaponize, the reach is getting throttled. The spirit of the journalist is suffocated bottle. They shadow ban the brave and they platform the fake. It's a psychological game with the highest of stakes. If you don't toe the line, then they label you a threat, putting filters on your mouth like a suffocating net. They claim they're stopping harm, but they're only stopping thought. Democracy is auctioned and the airwaves have been bought. The gatekeepers are frantic, they're losing their control. So they're trying to put a padlock on the collective soul. They're cutting the wires, they're pulling the plugs, treating the seekers of truth like the thugs. From the boardrooms to the courtrooms, the pressure is rising. The depth of the discourse of what they're devising. The spark in the dark is a beautiful thing. Let the bells of the rebels and dissidents ring. Of peace if the cost is your tongue. The songs of the ancestors are waiting to be sung. They want us quiet, compliant, and steady. staring at the floor while they're locking up the exits and they're bolting every door. But the truth is a frequency they can't fully jam. I'm a man with a mind, I'm not a ghost in their program. No more silence. The loudest thing in the world is the truth they try to hide. Keep the mic on, keep the eyes open. Keep the eye color silent. Keep the eye color silent. Keep the eye color silent. It's the sound of numbers. Man, I promise the camera's rolling even when I'm sleeping. Every perfect morning routine is a secret I'm keeping. Cause if I should've struggled, they'll call me the fake. This could read happiness for heaven's sake. I bought the new lens just to blur out the pain in my eyes. Spending rent money chasing the for you lies. I'm addicted to the scroll, the validation's fleeting. The perfect videos what's keeping my heart beating. Gotta stay relevant, gotta keep the clicks high. Yeah, the algorithm leaves you out to dry. They want the vulnerability, but never the real hurt. Just a 3-minute drama that looks good on a shirt, yeah. We all playing roles of constant digital masquerade. Trading dignity for views, watching all real souls fade. Oh, when the screen dims down and the filter breaks, I'm telling you all for these digital stakes. Oh, when the trust fades out and the truth reveals, you gotta unplug the wires and see how it really feels. See how it really feels. If you just the headline delivered in 2-minute clips, the puppet masters control the words that fall from my lips. Look at the comments, that's where the real damage starts. People tearing down dreams and tearing out hearts. Them and our hearts, if you trip, they don't help you. They film the whole fall. The price of the click is the willingness to sell out us all. See, the government knows that division brings distractions. We're fighting over trends and planning the next action. Calling out shields and sheep, but we are in the same pen. Fighting our neighbors instead of asking where, why, and when. They call it transparency, but the lens is distorted. We traded our freedom for content that gets reported. A perpetual loop, outrage the sun to consume. The collective attention trapped inside a digital room. Oh, when the screen dims down and the filter breaks, I'm telling you all for these digital stakes. Oh, when the trust fades out and the truth reveals, you gotta unplug the wires and see how it really feels. You tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queen. H2.0. Let's get it. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, yeah, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear. Yo, welcome to the Queendom. H2.0 on your screen, where the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. So if you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must. This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up of the scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought. Oh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, don't make me unleash the dragon, you've been born. Yeah, Golden Queen Age 2.0. The movement starts now. Go ahead, hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. You don't want to miss a thing. Welcome to the family.